Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I've got my skeptic glasses firmly on for this one today. Have you ever been staring at an Amazon product page completely overwhelmed and thought, you know what I really need right now? An automated AI-generated audio show to tell me what to buy? Well, apparently Amazon thinks you do. They're rolling out this brand new feature that uses AI to basically generate short, conversational audio segments right there on their product pages. You just hit a button, and boom, suddenly two incredibly chipper AI hosts start bantering about the merits and reviews of whatever you're looking at. So let's dive into this. Is this actually solving a real consumer problem, or is it just another shiny, completely unnecessary tech toy being pushed to our screens?
To really wrap our heads around what we're dealing with here, let's look at exactly how this sounds in practice. If you click that little button beneath the product image that says Listen to an audio overview, you get something like this. Imagine two super upbeat voices. One says, "Today our AI-generated shopping show is exploring the Lavoie Core 300P air purifier. Tell me what makes this one special." And the other host chimes right in, "Well, what really sets this one apart is its AMF verification. It can clean the air in spaces up to 1,073 square feet." And they just keep bantering back and forth about specs, room sizes, and the gold standard of air purification. And honestly, for an expensive appliance with highly technical specs like that, you can almost see the utility. But the big question is it always this useful?
Well, not exactly. Katie Natopoulos, who's a tech and culture correspondent over at Business Insider, recently did a deep dive into this new Amazon feature. Her verdict? She flat out calls it the world's least necessary podcast. I mean, that quote right there just perfectly captures the skepticism we really need to apply here. It kind of forces us to ask, are we building this tech because it genuinely helps people, or just because the AI models are suddenly capable of doing it?
Which brings us to Section 1, Helpful Guide or Automated Fluff. We really need to draw a hard line between when this technology acts as a genuinely helpful guide and when it just descends into pure, unadulterated, automated fluff. Just look at the sheer contrast here. On the left, we've got the air purifier we just talked about, right? It's an expensive electronic. It involves room measurements, filtration standards, things that a consumer might actually have complex questions about. A quick audio summary there makes a degree of sense. But look at the right side, a stapler. Yes, you heard that right. Amazon's AI is generating conversational audio shows about basic office staplers. It holds 25 sheets, it comes with staples. Do we literally need an audio production to explain how a stapler works?
I promise you, I am not making this up. When Natopoulos tested this feature on a stapler, the AI hosts earnestly began discussing it. One host literally asked the other, "Zoe, what makes this stapler stand out from others on the market?" And Zoe goes on to describe how it hits this sweet spot between functionality and practicality. It gets better. You can even submit questions to the AI. So Katie asked if the stapler jams, and the AI hosts paused their little show to say, "Oh, we've got a question from Katie. According to customer reviews, jamming is actually pretty rare." For a stapler. I mean, how difficult is it to decide on a stapler? And how many questions do you really need to ask?
That sheer absurdity brings us directly to Section 2, Fixing Symptoms, Not Problems. Because if nobody genuinely needs an audio show about a stapler, why on earth is Amazon investing in this? Well, the source material suggests a rather blunt truth here. Amazon is basically using AI to fix symptoms, rather than addressing their actual underlying problems.
The crucial point is this. Think about the last time you were on an Amazon product page. It is an overwhelming barrage of information. You've got these massive blocks of dense, jargon-filled product descriptions straight from the manufacturer. You've got countless conflicting user reviews, sometimes literally hundreds or thousands of them. Sponsored products, technical specs, Q&A sections, all just crammed together. It is incredibly confusing to shop on their own page. But here's the kicker, right? This is a problem of Amazon's own making. Instead of just cleaning up their chaotic user interface, they are simply layering an AI audio bot on top of the mess to read it to you. It's basically a shiny Band-Aid over a broken layout.
Which naturally leads us to a massive, glaring question. If the page itself is a total mess, where is this AI actually getting its facts to make these little audio shows? Because, if it sounds like a confident, knowledgeable host, we might instinctively trust it way more than we actually should.
So according to the investigation, the AI is synthesizing data from a few key buckets. First, it pulls from the on-page product description. Second, it pulls heavily from user reviews, where it will literally say things like, "Users think this product is great." But wait, we all know we have to take Amazon user reviews with a massive grain of salt anyway, right? And now the AI is just treating them as broadcast facts? Interestingly, it also pulls from wider web information, which could mean reviews from other external websites, or even crucial stuff like government recall data. So it's definitely casting a wide net, but ultimately, it's still digesting the exact same potentially flawed data that we were already squinting at.
Let's move right along to Section 3, throwing features at the wall. If the data is just repurposed, and the necessity is, well, questionable at best, we really have to look at the broader corporate strategy behind this. What does this actually tell us about the current state of AI in the tech world?
Just look at this timeline of their strategy. In the past, we had the cluttered product pages. We all knew they were messy. Then, in the recent past, Amazon actually tried to solve this with a direct AI chatbot. You could just type in questions about the product. But a lot of people, the author included, didn't have much luck with it. It was honestly quite underwhelming. So instead of perfecting that, or I don't know, just fixing the core search experience, we arrive at the present, introducing the shiny new AI audio feature. It feels way less like a calculated consumer necessity and a whole lot more like distraction by innovation.
This perfectly sums up the tech industry's current mood right now. It is a prime example of massive companies like Amazon basically just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. They've acquired the AI capabilities, they have the large language models, the text-to-speech generators, and the corporate mandate just seems to be, hey, we've got an AI tool, we can do this, so why not? It's innovation driven entirely by capability rather than actual consumer demand.
But let's be totally fair here and look at the actual user experience as we head into Section 4, Convenience vs. Deep Information. Because there is a very real psychological reason Amazon thinks you might actually click that listen button.
We are faced with a pretty fascinating trade-off here. On the left, we have the undeniable appeal of audio. I mean, it is honestly true that it's sometimes just easier to listen to information than it is to read it. As Notopoulos pointed out, listening to a history podcast is usually way more fun than reading a dry Wikipedia page, right? For complicated decisions where you're cross-referencing ratings and specs, it's incredibly tempting to just push a button and let two friendly AI voices summarize the whole shebang for you. But look at the right side. When you surrender to that convenience, you really sacrifice the depth of text. You lose the ability to read the actual unfiltered specs. You lose your own power to scan and discern which user reviews might be completely fake. You are essentially handing over the power of making an informed choice to a synthesized summary.
Which brings us to our final and perhaps most important question of this whole explainer. Amazon is clearly trying to accommodate our desire for an easier shopping experience. But at some point, are we degrading our information so much, filtering it through so many layers of artificial synthesis and fake banter, literally just to avoid doing a little reading? It's a question you'll have to answer for yourself the next time you find yourself debating the sweet spot of a 25-sheet stapler. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next explainer.